Welcome to Heartfelt Life Diaries, where we explore the profound lessons hidden within nature's smallest and most resilient living creatures today. Deep within the emerald embrace of an ancient forest, life thrives in harmony, filled with the gentle songs of countless birds. Among the towering oak trees lived a tiny sparrow, small in stature but possessing a spirit as vast as the sky. She had built a delicate nest high upon a branch, weaving together twigs and soft moss to protect her future children. Inside this cozy home lay three speckled eggs, representing hope and the continuation of life, watched over with tender motherly love. However, the tranquility of the forest was suddenly shattered as dark, ominous clouds gathered rapidly, swallowing the warm golden sunlight whole. The wind began to howl like a wounded beast, bending the mighty trees and stripping leaves violently from their sturdy branches. Rain lashed down in unforgiving sheets, turning the dry forest floor into a chaotic river of mud and rushing water currents. The sparrow clung tightly to her branch, her small heart pounding as her fragile home swayed dangerously in the violent gale. A sudden, powerful gust snapped the branch, sending the nest tumbling down through the darkness toward the unforgiving ground below. The nest struck the muddy earth with a heartbreaking thud, scattering the materials that the mother bird had so carefully gathered. In the cold mud, two of the precious eggs cracked open, their potential life extinguished instantly by the cruel force of nature. Amidst the wreckage and sorrow, one single egg remained miraculously intact, lying vulnerable against the rising water and the cold mud. While other animals fled to safety, the little sparrow refused to leave, her eyes fixed determinedly on her last remaining hope. She tried desperately to lift the egg with her beak, but it was far too heavy for her tiny, trembling frame. The rain soaked her feathers, making her shiver uncontrollably, yet she pushed against the egg, refusing to surrender to the storm. The water levels were rising dangerously fast, threatening to sweep away the fragile egg into the darkness of the muddy stream. Panic began to set in, but her instinct to protect was stronger than her fear of the thunder crashing directly overhead. From the safety of a hollow tree, a large black crow watched the scene, shaking his head at the sparrow's futility. The crow cawed loudly, mocking her efforts, telling her to abandon the egg and save herself before she drowned in mud. He shouted that she was wasting her time, that nature had already decided the fate of her offspring in this storm. The sparrow heard the cruel words but chose to ignore them completely, focusing all her remaining energy on a new plan. Realizing she could not lift the heavy egg, she began to dig furiously into the mud right beside the precious shell. Her claws were small, but her determination was mighty as she created a small depression to stop the egg from rolling. She gently nudged the egg into the shallow pit, securing it against the current that threatened to wash everything away forever. Then, she gathered wet fallen leaves and dry grass she could find, creating a protective blanket over the fragile, cold egg. Finally, she spread her own wings over the mound, using her body as the final shield against the relentless, freezing rain. The night was long and terrifying, with lightning illuminating her small, soaked form standing guard against the fury of the elements. Hours passed slowly, but eventually, the wind died down, the rain ceased, and the first gray light of dawn appeared softly. The sun began to rise, casting warm rays upon the forest, revealing the devastation left behind by the fierce nightly storm. Many large nests had been destroyed, but there, on the ground, the little sparrow shook her feathers and uncovered the egg. The egg was dry and safe, perfectly preserved through the chaos because one small bird refused to give up on it. As the warmth of the sun touched the shell, a tiny crack appeared, followed by a soft chirping sound from within. The shell broke apart, and a healthy, hungry chick emerged, looking up at the mother who had fought the storm alone. The mother sparrow chirped with pure joy, feeding her new baby, proving that love and persistence can conquer the hardest trials. An old, wise owl, who had witnessed the entire ordeal from above, flew down to a lower branch to speak softly. The owl observed the pair and said that true strength is not measured by the size of wings or sharp claws. He declared that real power lies within a heart that refuses to surrender. even when the odds are stacked against it. This story reminds us that glory is not about never falling, but about rising every single time we are knocked down. Even when you feel small and powerless, your determination can protect your dreams and lead you through the darkest of nights. Like the sparrow, we all face storms that threaten to destroy what we love, but we must stand firm and brave. Let your resilience be the shelter for your hopes, and trust that the sun will always rise after the heaviest rain. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else is more important than the fear you feel. Cherish your inner strength, nurture your dreams with patience, and never let the mockery of others deter you from your path. Thank you for watching Heartfelt Life Diaries. Subscribe for more inspiring stories that touch the soul. See you in the next video.